So let's go straight into market update. We'll see what's happened since yesterday and see where it goes. So this is how I usually gonna go. What I'm gonna do usually as well. So I'm looking coming back straight to higher time frames, see what the market did. So this is ETH on higher time frames. So first of all, I'm just go on a daily time frames, and I'm gonna look what the daily time frames looks without any indicators, not indicators, but without any designs I marked and zones what I've done. So and this is how I'm usually gonna look. So daily, pretty bullish because it's rejected the 50 EMA. So as long as it stays above 50 EMA, I think it will be absolutely fine. So we are on a downtrend a little bit, so it's also came back into this order block. So that's what I can see here. So there's not much to see now. It's pushed back. Now we need to see this is going higher. So the daily target would be probably 255 EMA on this level here, so it's also aligned with this fair value gap. So smaller time frames, let's go and have a look. And this is where I'm starting to see and add all the markings back, so I can see what was happening. So as I did yesterday, well, this video is going to be pretty short, so I'm not going to do an hour-long video. I'm just going to keep it quickly and short. So this was the marking yesterday, the target where I said where it needs to, and I would expect it to go. So it's actually at that level now. Currently rejecting that. Look, this candle is exactly into this spike here. So how convenient, huh? So the good thing is it's actually bounced off 255 EMA, so it's still bullish. But what we need to see is we need to really see this pushing through. If it starts rejecting, comes back, as long as it doesn't break any of these levels here on a smaller time frame, we're gonna mark that better. We'll be absolutely fine, because if it comes back up, comes back down, creates high low here, then we're definitely going up. So but in the same time, I expect this to push through. So there's two scenarios I can go, because it's high, low, but this is high, low, so this is higher than this. So I would expect if it doesn't reject here, it's probably going to push up more. Yeah, I was looking on this marking, so because these are liquidity levels, so I take them from a coin glass, and I just mark the levels up. So I can always see where are the closest liquidity. But if you're looking at the liquidity, we know that once the price pulling away, so there's going to be liquidity left behind here. So, and these are markings that I made, and the same on here. So looking on 24-hour liquidity map, we have 2338, 2338. It's there. So people went short here. So that's why there is this zone here. It disappeared because it's set for me to show it on 1 hour. 2291, and people went long as well. So this is 2291, it's here, so the same again. So it's going to disappear, it's going to show up in 1 hour. So but if you're looking at a price action, people didn't went long here, so people went long up here. So this is what they trying to induce. They're trying to push people into longs, like retail coming into late longs. Now they have liquidity below, and they can just push price down. So same again, people went short. So as long as there's liquidity more above, if they have enough liquidity above, they're going to push price higher to pick up that, so they can reject any in these zones as well. So the same, quickly taking a fibs, see what the fibs say. You see it's rejecting 38.2, but it can go and reject any of these levels if it wants to create higher low here. So lower high here. So it can create lower high, and then it just pushes down. So, or it can create the lower high here, and then it pushes down as well. So we just have to see the price action, what it does. So this is on ETH, guys. So let's have a look on an hour. So the same we can see it's actually at the levels. It's rejecting currently. It's rejecting 255, but it's above 50. So it's indecision. looking on EMAs, they are pretty bullish on an hour, because look, 10, 20, they are facing up, so they had some rejections here. The next few candles going to tell us what's going to happen. Do we have any trade entries? Not currently. Maybe on a smaller time frames we're going to have to see, but when we're going to go on 15 minutes and see what is happening. So these are the two liquidation levels we added. Okay, so that's tells me this story. So if we want to go higher, where you can go, so there's this order block here, so we can go there. There's a fair value gap here, so it can create anywhere in this area. You can come back into this fair value gap here, or you can come back into this order block and create an information and just come back down. So there's multiple locations where you can go, and it's also when you mark a location. That's what I do, is I mark a location. If it doesn't reject there, I just go for the next one. So which is more obvious, because this was the drop that's created. This order block has actually created all of these. If you look on smaller time frames, there's going to be some fair value gap. That's why this came back, retested, and then pulled away. And on here as well, we can see all the EMAs are facing down, so that's why it's pretty bearish. You couldn't break the 20 EMA and 50 is above. So here we sort of like changing, but if these candles go sideways, the EMA is going to fan out and they can just keep coming down. So, and then it's been that it's rejected 255. The 255 starts coming like this, it just goes down. So we have to see that. Don't just rush in on don't rush in on the trades, don't be patient. It did reject this. There's a hammer which rejection, so this needs to close bearish for it to be confirmed. It needs to break below this hammer here. Okay, so I selected this, so it needs to break below here, because it's came below, but it's pushing up again, so it needs to break below if that's want to be turning bearish and you want to jump on some trades. So looking on 15 minutes, it's came into that order block, and this is where it's getting interesting. So yesterday we talked about this W. I said it needs to come back to 200 and retest, or come back and retest here. It didn't do, because I took this trade and I closed it here. I didn't close it there. So and it came back, actually it came back into these zones that we marked yesterday. Came back, retested, created high, another high low, and just pushed away. So, be patient. We always, if we miss this trade, wait for the retest. It will always come back, and we're gonna look now at Bitcoin and a few others, and see what they did actually, because they did actually a lot better than ETH and Bitcoin. When the money starts shifting and there is some vibes of market push, we all get excited, but we need to be very cautious because things can change quickly. So you see these zones, it sort of came back in, it didn't stay, so I delete the zone. It did came back into this zone at first initially, so this was the first target from this trade. This was actually the target. Okay, so it's actually hit the target on this hammer. You can take a short, but knowing that this is the zone where it goes, this would be the area where you take the short and you go back down. So when you close it before these drop traders, and this actually hit the zone, bounced off, created high low, and just went off. So these would be entries here, and enter here, stop loss there, and just go. So pretty safe trades. So we take this away because this zone is collected. So now we are into this zone. And you see it's multiple times, it comes back, comes back, so there's multiple rejections already. There is no real zones. For me, I would mark this one as a trap trader zone on 15 minutes. So you see what's happened here, it's pushed up, it's came back, straight higher low, lower high, okay, lower low. And this came and collected all the liquidity here because people went short here. Okay, they were safe still here, so people went short again. Okay, so the stop losses are here. This was happened yesterday with me because I took on Bitcoin, I took a short and I put my stop loss like really close to the top, and it just came back like this, came back, stopped me out, and just reversed. So if you want to take trades, you need to put your stop losses in the correct place. So that's also is key. And so this wick, why it's wicked off, because there was loads of liquidity. It came back, pushed up, collected the liquidity, pushing away. So, but it hasn't pulled away. So these next candles, you know, it's still pretty bullish on 15 minutes. These next candles going to show us what they want to do, but you know, there was probably an entry long because all the EMAs are above. So the next targets, some of these liquidation levels here. So if it breaks above all these levels, it's definitely going to go. So do I have a trade entry now? No, I don't. So okay, so that's on ETH. 4 hours. We have to see how it goes, because if it starts rejecting this, if this turns into doji, and then the next candles starts coming back down, then we can expect lower prices. But if it starts turning bullish, and you know, if this turns into a hammer, then bearish. If it stays doji and the next candle pushing down and closes below, then it's also bearish. But otherwise, we can expect higher prices. And let me quickly see what do we have also on this liquidity. Where is the next large levels? 23.57. That was this. There is nothing else I can see currently on ETH. So except for this 24.35. So there's another one, 24.35. Yeah, it's in this zone here. So there's, you know, this order block. So that's the next liquidity. So if they want to push higher and they want to collect that, they might do that. Looking at all this, what I see, boardroom. Okay, so they came back and they're keeping some, you know, they're keeping this range. It needs to break above to go higher, but they might stop and they just pull it down. So we'll see. Okay, so now we go to Bitcoin and see what does Bitcoin did. So rejected yesterday, the 50 EMA, pulled away, came back into the zone as well. So daily time frames, what do we see? This is very bullish on Bitcoin, because look, the 10 EMA is this, 20 is this, 50 is this. It is all above them EMAs. There is no real rejection of anything. I would expect this to push higher. I would expect, because there is an order block here. So that leaves us at 89.4. 4 hours, same again. It's still bullish. It came back, retested 50 EMA. There is no real zones on 4 hours to see where it's retested. We're going to go back into 1 hour and see. And you see it's collected the liquidity. Now it's keep pushing up, but it has to start really pushing up, because there's another liquidity here. And I'll just quickly see if there's anything else we can see. 81. So there is another liquidity at 81. Yeah, it's there. So this was removed. So if we set this to 24, so it's gonna go, and set this 24. I'm trying to keep higher time frames more clear, so I can better see what is happening on higher time frames, because once you understand what is happening on higher time frames, it's going to be much easier to trade on the smaller time frames, because this is looking more bullish. Same again, there is no clear rejections of any of these order blocks. I would expect this area to be the area next rejection. Okay, there's an order block here, because this came back up, but there's no real, you know, liquidations there, or there's no. So drop traders, I would expect it's gonna go up higher. So let's have a look on 1 hour. You see 1 hour, it shows all the liquidation levels that I marked before. So the next rejection zone, so I would expect this order block here. Okay, so order block, that is between the liquidity levels. So let me quickly make a silent noise. So okay, so okay, Bitcoin is still pushing up. It's above 50. It's above all the EMA, so it's pretty bullish. As long as this keeps going up and it doesn't reject and doesn't turn around here. Any rejections here, there is nothing really, you know, this order block on 15 minutes is going to be here. There's going to be order block here, which can take out this, create another lower high and then push down. So, but on a higher time frames, what we see, it's created higher low. So we need to expect it to go up somewhere. So if you're looking higher lows, okay, 1 hour is same. I'll quickly look on the 15 minutes and see what's happening on the 15 minutes. So 15 minutes, same again. We talked about this W formation, so it comes back, retest. As I talked about this retest into this zone to go long. So it's actually played pretty well. So I took a short. Yeah, I took a short from here. And I was expecting it to go into here, but I put my stop loss just about this week, so you know, made a mistake there. And expected it to come here, and then it reversed that. So that's what's happened. So then I expected it's going to come back, go for 200, come back, retest, and it's been, you know, the US has been really pretty crap to trade. But if you open the trade here, then it would be absolutely fine. So you'll be absolutely still in. So I expected areas to reverse, come back after this liquidity, and maybe reverse there. So same again here. Look, people went short, came back. It was absolutely fine. So the liquidities are here. Look, this week collected all these guys. So if they have enough here, so then they're gonna create another lower high and reverse price here. Slowly, it's gonna bleed down. But currently, it's pretty bullish. Quickly on next few minutes, let's have a look to see what is the market does, and then I'm gonna start looking into maybe some later trades, record some video again, make some long video just for all of us to. For me, is recording myself. My thought process. Why I'm actually recording these videos is because to help me myself overcome certain challenges I have. That happens with all the traders, so we all go through all the challenges, and I think one of the ways is finding what works for you, how you can overcome, you know, your own fears or your own ego. It's important as well. So looking on 4 hours on a on Avalanche. Okay, so this was the note I put yesterday when I started. That was it was at 6 a.m. 7 a.m. so it was here. Okay, so I said bullish, all the EMAs below. So and look, it's pulled away. It's come into fair value gap in there. So let's have a look on the daily. What do we see on daily? Look, this has been like complete disaster to trade, in all honesty. Okay, so look, it's holding this range since February. Okay, since February 5th. Okay, it's went up in March, but it's been ranging. Now on a daily, we can see it's actually start pulling up, but we really need to see some volume. It needs to break this level, come back, retest, for us to be really bullish in Avalanche. Look, this is only scalpers market. Okay, it's in and out. Okay, all this price action is in and out, so there's not much I can tell you on this. It does look more bullish now, definitely, because 1 hour is above EMAs, 4 hours is up all above as well, so definitely bullish. Let's quickly have a look on HBAR. HBAR is the same. Okay, so bullish on 4 hours. You know, HBAR has been same. It's came back on in February and it's been slow bleeding down. So we need to break this level. It needs to come back. It needs to retest, create another higher low here, up, higher high, higher low, and then we can expect it to go. But I wouldn't be too excited on the dailies now. 4 hours, same again. It needs to break, levels. It's been up and down. At this level, it's been, last time it was April 8th, a month ago or 2 months ago, yes, and it's just pulled away. So the good thing is the 250 of EMA is below, but it needs to really stay there. So let's have a look on Link. Link has been blasting. Okay, Link has broken out of this range, okay, because all these coins has been in ranging as well. So daily is bullish on EMA, so we would expect it to come back into this zone here. I would definitely expect it there. So 4 hours, yes, bullish. The same process was yesterday. Morning he was very bullish and retested 20, and it just went. 1 hour, look, same again. Look, they were holding the levels. The same, it created a W and just went. So XRP, and this is same. The other coins already broke above. This is maybe preparing for something, because definitely doesn't want to break below, but it hasn't gone up as well. So it's been created this in March. This, it's low, higher low, lower high, and just keeps pushing down. So there is this needs some action. So EMA is pretty flat. We need to see XRPs to do some better. Doge again. I have some of the coins selected which I'm always looking, so we're going to look on the SUI because SUI did pretty well yesterday. There was a really nice entry on SUI. Have a look on this as well. So Doge is actually pulling out, so pretty bullish. I would say Doge is pretty bullish. Let's have a look on Aave. Yeah, this is interesting, so because it's been coming back down a lot more daily. Look, there was false hope and destroyed hope. So same again. This is, there's not much I can say about this because it's holding the level, but there's no volume. It's rejecting the 50. Look, many times rejecting the 50. It's also rejecting 50 now. So it needs some volume to come in and hold it. So it needs to come back, create higher low, lower high. I can keep confusing. More I talk about these things, more I keep losing my mind on them. So and now let's have a look on SUI. Look how SUI did. Okay, so this was like I saw SUI yesterday. SUI did pretty well for the day trade. So looking in 4 hours, same again. It came back, retested. Look at this retest, double hammers, at the bottom. So they don't want to let price below. So 1 hour, same again. There's this last hammer, 15 minutes. Same again. Holding this level. This is a W here. See, holding this chop trader zone. Chop trader zone. So that's 5 minutes. I need 15 minutes. And 15 minutes. So look, multiple rejections from this zone, so it means they don't want to let go. There's a hammer here, inside bar in this hammer. If you don't want to take this risky entry, you take an entry from here where it creates higher low, higher low. Yes, and then look on your insane trade. That's insane. So okay, gents, and everybody else who's watching, this is it for this quick market update, and I'll see you on my trading hour recording. So nice one, Captain out. Ciao.